You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
I go by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America Presents Search for the Next Pussycat Doll. Working title, Pussycat Doll Presents Your Welcome America Presents Search for the Next Doll. I am joined by a little kitty cat that's just meowed her way into the studio. She's back from Scotland. Look what the pussycat dragged in. It's Ben.
Meow.
She's back. So yes, I'm Fraser.
I'm Ben.
Oh, we did that backwards.
I'll do it again. I'm Ben.
I am Fraser.
Fraser like razor. You may know us from our regular podcast, Your Welcome America, where in every episode we translate British pop culture for America.
And American pop culture for Britain.
You're welcome. But this is really Fraser's brainchild of a spin-off. Full disclosure, I have not watched episodes 1 and 2. Today is episode 3. I've not listened to the podcast. I'm
Great.
coming in cold, but some might say I'm coming in hot.
So supportive.
Look, I was traveling.
Coming in hot stuff. Looking for your hot stuff, baby, I need it. I'm really obsessed with the way they do that line. Baby, I need it. It's really flat and weird. Anyway, yes, we are doing episode 3 of Search for the Next Doll. So actually, before we get started, we have had a little bit of info. This is from Tom Leonard, listener Tom Leonard in London.
Oh, feedback.
He says, I would postulate, great word, the reason they wanted a 7th doll is because choreographically, it's much easier and satisfying to have an odd number of people for patterns, and you can feature one person in the middle, like a la Nicole.
Oh, much like if you're a bride, you want an equal number of bridesmaids for the photos.
Exactly. And then even after we posted some of the artwork for the episode, he said, see how clunky that arrangement of people is? So Tom's on it. Okay, and then just a quick bit of feedback.
Yes.
I'm going to have to give you a bit of backstory on this one. So in the first episode, Mark McGrath said that there were a certain number of hit singles for the Pussycat Dolls. Then he revised that on episode 2, and what happened is he was actually erasing Sway from everyone's consciousness.
Okay.
And I said, I will not stand for Sway erasure. Bum, bada 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 cha, da 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 do, da 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 ba.
Wow.
And the Hips Don't Lie podcast has actually messaged us on Twitter and said, just starting the Pussycat Dolls episode of Your Welcome America, and I'm so glad someone is finally standing up for Sway. # Justice for Sway. And if you look on the hashtag for Justice for Sway, really not a lot of stuff going on for the Pussycat Dolls specifically. I'm seeing something about a dog called Sway, justice for the dog called Sway. Yeah. So good to know other people are on Team Sway.
I also noticed on our Instagram, Tone Rings got in touch, and he's just done a quote, "We're looking for sexy sophistication. Now hang up your feather boa that we gave you." And he just says, make it make sense. And he also says, Asia's daughter is now 16. Feel old?
That's rough. Yeah, Asia is only 18, and she now has a 16-year-old daughter. It's quite a lot to deal with the passage of time there. So actually, his comment takes us quite nicely into the previously on. So that was just a little recap of last episode. And obviously, you haven't seen any episodes, so there was a lot of information whooshing past for you there. It really focused on the fact that, as I called her, Big Head Brittany, my queen, she got eliminated last week.
Okay, got it. She's gone. I don't need to worry about her.
All you need to know about her is they criticised her for being too sexy for the Pussycat Dolls. And she was really good, and she had quite a large noggin. A sizable noggin on her.
So that was the real problem.
Yeah, they were like, her head's too big. We don't know how to fit her into the lineup.
So in that quick recap, I mean, this is me just entering the Pussycat Dolls lounge for the first time, as it were.
On the Sunset Strip.
On the Sunset Strip. Where is this loft that they're staying in? Many questions about that.
Michael and I tried to get to the bottom of that. It's on Sunset Boulevard. We think it was, or I think Michael postulated, great word, that it's definitely kind of Thai town, like deep east of Sunset,
okay.
Like not Sunset where we are right now in Silver Lake, but like
got it.
Sketch in between Hollywood and here.
And not Sunset where the Pussycat Dolls lounge is.
Absolutely not.
Got it. There's a lot of patterned wallpaper flying around. Mm-hmm. Actually, a little bit like Girls Let Off the Records.
Yes.
That pink and black patterned wallpaper. Yep. I've just written in capital letters pink feather boas, which we'll get to later. And also just the font of like the names and things whooshing around. It's almost like in 2008, if you went and you were like, I'm going to get like a kind of gothic font tattoo.
Yes. It looks like a medieval scroll.
Yes.
I didn't realize that the Pussycat Dolls were so medieval. So let's just get into it and hear Don't You for the first time of a million.
Early mornings, long rehearsal, and 24-hour commitment.
Work it, work it, work it.
If you don't dance like this, you're out of here. Now the competition really begins.
Okay, now just to clarify, and I've had to write their names, we've got 7 dolls left. Well, 7...
8.
8. Wait, what? Oh, well, I've only... Wait a minute. No, actually, I've only got 6 here. Hang on.
2 sets of 4 in that final performance.
Oh, that's right. I've got 7. I'm missing someone. We'll work out who it is as we go along.
Okay.
So we start off in this loft. Now, I'm going to just describe the interior decoration of this loft as industrial boudoir.
Yes, very much. Did you see that like leopard print kind of
Yes.
throw that was slung over the banister?
Now, here's the thing. Like, obviously, there's I'm assuming there's AC in that loft, but no, in LA, you never want like a big, heavy, fluffy animal throw, do you?
Ever. Never, ever.
Ever.
Even under AC, you don't want it.
No.
So yeah, we come back. Melissa S is obviously not happy because she was up for elimination in the last episode. Michael and I said that Melissa S is going to be played by J-Lo in the movie of this. We still haven't really got to the bottom of if she actually is Caucasian or not, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, is she the one at the end of this episode has the huge hair?
Yes.
Got it.
No.
Oh, wait, who's that then?
Anastasia.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
You're missing Anastasia.
Let me just write
the
her down.
tallest one. Tall with the really big hair is Anastasia.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. So we hear a little bit from Jamie as well. So she obviously last episode was all about confidence, and she did get her confidence up, but she thinks she needs a little more confidence. I will note yet again she's sitting on her chair backwards.
Sitting on her chair backwards.
And I referred to it last week as Suspicious Minds style, but actually the movie is called Dangerous Minds. Remember Michelle Pfeiffer sits backwards on a chair?
Oh, yeah. I just think
The
it's
most famous woman ever to have done it.
I just think it's very. It's the 90s. I'm watching Home and Away, and someone comes into the diner and pulls up a chair and sits backwards. At this point, I would like to talk about all the chair choices in the confessionals. There are thrones.
Yep.
There's a funky space chair.
Yep. There's a chaise.
There's a chaise.
Cora Mariella is fully reclining with her legs in frame.
I think it's an animal print chaise.
Yeah.
And then there's also a chair that's like a jaunty angle. So their body's facing one way, but they have to turn their head to talk to the camera. I'm like, choices.
Yeah. There's definitely someone in charge of set decoration who was like, I'm going to have some fun. That's what Jamie's saying. And then Sisely is obviously discussing how Ponder Replay was not the right song for her.
Yeah.
And again, me and Michael talked about this last week, but they tried to set Sisely up last week. They gave her Ponder Replay, and then all her critiques were like, this isn't really the song for you. She didn't choose it. And, you know.
Which one's Sisely again? Oh no, Sisely's the rock chick.
Yeah.
She's the Sarah Harding of this.
Yes.
Sarah Harding meets Dido's hair.
Yes.
Got it.
There's
Okay.
a lot going on with Sisely's hair in this episode.
Yes.
So yeah, she's really just recapping that, you know, of course it wasn't the right song for her. At this point, we get a very awkward moment where one of them announces they have screen mail. Now, this is not an established thing. They've never been told, like, it's not like doll mail or Pussycat Post.
Pussy Post.
Pussy Post. Yeah, they haven't been given a prompt. So one of them's like, we've got screen mail. They're trying so
screen
hard not
mail?
to say Tyra mail.
Is it scream as in like...
No, screen, because they're watching them on that pulled down overhead projector screen.
Oh dear. I feel like the producers hadn't come up with a name. Like, oh shit, we're going to film in 2 minutes. What are we going to call it?
Well, it's on the screen. It's mail. It's screen mail. They should have called it Pussy Post.
Pussy Post. Okay, so
They're damn fools.
They get a digital Pussy Post.
Yes, and this time we don't see Asia holding the actual remote to work the system, which is what we saw in the last episode. Her like trying to work through the settings to make sure that they could actually see it.
They probably lost it under a funky giant furry pillow. So who's got the remote? Oh, I think it's under one of the throws. Yeah, but which throw?
So the Pussycat Dolls come on with their uncomfortable video message of the week. And now, speaking of sitting, I've noticed this is a pattern. It really is them being like, okay, we've got a bunch of girls. We need to have them delivering this message. There's always one person who's sitting basically fully turned away from the camera and having to talk over their shoulder. And then like one girl who's on the floor with like her leg up, and they're just like, hey girls. And it's always just Nicole sitting pretty in the middle.
Nicole does not want to be there. Nicole is above this
Yeah.
in her eyes and mind.
Serving the lowest energy possible. So there's meant to be a lesson each week that they kind of the thing that they're going to be trying to do. Last week was confidence. So they announced that this week is about creating your own persona.
Like pussy morals?
Yeah, it's the very loose theme of the episode, but I think as we go along we'll find that they're really struggling even just on the second week of performances to find enough things that are different.
If I were producing the show, developing the show, I would definitely come up with a 9 lives format.
That's such a good idea. Sorry, I'm drinking a gin and tonic. That's what that noise was.
Clink, clink, clink.
So what did you think about Ashley's leopard print fedora in this video message? I thought it was great.
Noted.
And I have to say, just from a personal experience note, I worked on a show with Ashley from the Pussycat Dolls, and she is a goddamn delight.
Lovely. I always get confused between Ashley and Kimberly.
Well, they're the two Brit exports below Nicole in the kind of the rungs. So they're the two that are always knocking around on a different competition reality show in the UK that's not X Factor, but
like a roving reporter in Saturday Night Takeaway.
Exactly. Well, that's what I worked with her on. So the dolls kind of say, go meet Robin in the dance studio. So they all go in there and Robin gives them more information on the theme. And she's like, this theme is about persona. And, shall we talk for a quick second about the irony of talking about having a very clear persona in a group of people who are often not remembered as who's not Nicole?
Well, I just talked about not remembering who was Kimberly and who was Ashley. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Ashley. So at this point, Robin is talking about Kimberly, and she says, yeah, Kimberly's got a really special style. It's a little shady. You know what I mean?
Well, really, the whole thing hinges on just the fact that she had a mohawk in Docha, basically.
Oh, that's right. And then, would you believe, Kimberly's there. She comes out in person. Now, talking of hair, she comes out with a mane of hair. I would describe the color as rust.
Yes. I'd also say that hair contains maybe 4 bump hits.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a lot of bump hit work going on in that hair. I thought she looked good though.
She did look good.
She was wearing like a cropped legging and a heel, which I think is very signature Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's talking about, being confident in your unique persona. She talks about the mohawk, and yet again we get a short clip of "Don't Ya." Maybe is this our 3rd or 4th time hearing that song in the episode?
And a Don't Ya graphic just zooms in your face in and out of that clip as well.
Yeah, we did a lot of whooshing around this week, more than normal. We whooshed around an extra amount in this episode. Okay. And I just want to note the running theme of this show is that someone in every episode is wearing a skull print on them. And in this episode, Jamie was wearing a skull scarf on her head.
Funky.
But yeah, there's been a skull that has appeared in every episode so far. I think it's like a secret hidden theme.
Oh,
get in the group or die. Okay, so why don't you talk about the songs that they're going to do this week?
Yes, so they're going to be split up into 2 groups, and they are going to do a song by Pat Benatar. What song is it again? Heartbreaker.
Dream maker, love taker, don't mess around a man.
And then the other song for the other group is En Vogue's Free Your Mind.
Ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la.
Lovely. 2 very different songs.
Yes, two very distinctly different songs, whereas last week we were given a lot of the same.
What was last week? Ponder Replay.
Replay, 1-2 Step. Oh, Crazy in Love was another song from last week as well.
Okay.
So yeah, in the 2 groups, so in Heartbreaker we have Sisely, Chelsea, Jamie, and Melissa R. And in Free Your Mind is Anastasia, Melissa S, Mariella, and Asia. How are you feeling about all those names I just said? Can you put any faces to them?
No. There's one, all I know is that there's Sisely the rock chick. There's one who gets bangs later on in the episode.
Chelsea.
There's one who looks like a white woman scarecrow.
Jamie.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, so this is all to say that this episode is where we really start to get the focus on Sisely, because she gets given Heartbreaker and they're all like, oh, we gave you Pat Benatar, like you're gonna be great. So it's like pressure.
Got it.
And then before we even get into any of the dancers singing rehearsals, the girls are already coming for Mariella's neck, as they say, basically saying Free Your Mind is actually a hard song to sing, and I wrote the words, and she can't sing for shit. That's what they're implying.
So Mariella can't sing, but there's one of them also can't dance.
Yes, Mariella can't sing, Chelsea can't dance.
That's right.
those are our themes. So we start with, we kind of drop into dance rehearsal and singing rehearsal. So we drop in with Free Your Mind. And basically, they continue kind of talking about it. And it's Mariella saying, you know, she's worried about the vocals because that's not really her strong suit, but she does know that she can dance. And they do show some of that, like, she's doing some good jobs. I think Mikey, like, compliments her in the dance rehearsal because she's able to do all the hip pops that they need to do in that.
Got it. I'm just mesmerized in this scene by them all singing to bottles of water, but with the label ripped off.
There's a lot of water bottle singing action in this show. A lot.
Love that.
Can't give the girls just a fake mic even for rehearsals.
I know. That's what's fascinating. Like, it feels... But maybe it's meant to be, like, strange... No, this is too much credit, but it's strangely relatable.
Yes,
I
guess so.
How many times have you, like, grabbed a bottle of Volvic and, you know, done a song out of it?
But only one of those skinny bottles. You can't have one of those. Remember the sports Volvics with the sports cap? You can't have that one.
You can't have, like,
the square one.
A sports cap, like, Buxton water.
And then we just get a quick cut of them doing the harmonies around the piano for Free Your Mind. And I just wrote the notes, oof magoof.
Yep.
Tough. So yeah, then we switch to the Heartbreaker group, and this is just, they're doing a bit of choreo to start with, and the running theme of this show is that Mikey hates Chelsea, the one that can't dance.
Okay.
And Mikey's the choreographer.
Okay, what does Chelsea look like again?
Chelsea's Bangs.
Oh, Chelsea becomes Chelsea Bangs.
Chelsea Bangs.
Okay.
So Mikey hates Chelsea Bangs because she can't dance, and
Okay.
it's just the running theme of these episodes, and he always takes it too far. He's like nasty, and this is Chelsea versus Mikey again. And then they switch to kind of vocal rehearsals, and then this is when we get into Sisely being the main focus of this bit.
Got it. You're a heartbreaker.
No.
Oh wait,
no,
no.
they keep making her sing the first verse. Your love is like a tidal wave taking over my head, and they make her sing that maybe 7 or 8 times, like in the actual episode. So you can only imagine how many times they made her do it, like in the room. So she's basically she's really struggling, and the guy Eric, who's the like vocal coach, he says like, you should be shining, like this is your week, and you can see she's like really cracking under the pressure. You know, I think the edit is meant to make us think, oh, she's getting a little fresh with Eric about the fact that, and the pianist whose name I've forgotten, about the fact that they like keep getting them to rehearse it. But then she points out that they've only been getting like 3 or 4 hours sleep a night, and that she's like run ragged. And I have to just throw back to the first episode where they were all in the Courtyard Marriott in Long Beach, and they all got like a disease where they were like vomiting and dying. Even back then, Sisely was like, I need to go to bed. I'm really tired. I think this girl just needs her sleep, and we need to let her have it.
Yeah.
They're clearly torturing her behind the scenes by keeping her awake.
Yeah. There's definitely, this is many, many years before like contestant care or whatever.
Yes, the duty of care is not there at all.
Although at one point, one of them says something like, well, if you get into the Pussycat Dolls, they only, it's like, they sleep when they can. It kind of makes it sound like their cats that just curl up in a corner every now and again.
Yeah. So of course, yeah, you just... Who's that? You're like, oh, who's that on the windowsill? It's just Carmet. Is that how you say her name?
Who's that's like scratched the back of the sofa?
And then I just wanted to talk to you. This is my first note I made about red hair. I want to talk about Sisely's hair. This is pre-makeover, her hair.
Oh, I don't
remember.
remember.
So many red tones in that hair.
Oh,
I want
okay.
to talk about how in the year 2007, a lot of people had maybe 3 or 4 different tones of red in their hair at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you think that was inspired by that? Because it was Christina that had the red pieces in her hair, wasn't it?
But hers was more literal. It was more like platinum blonde and pinky red. There were just 2 colors going on.
Sisely's got Sisely's got like red hair, ginger hair, like fireman red hair.
Yeah.
There's some gold in there.
Yeah.
All the kind of tones of the red, orange rainbow. I will just do a quick shout out to my friend Lydia, who had red streaks in her hair inspired by Christina this year. She remembers.
That's a lot of work that's gone into that.
Yeah.
That miasma of rouges.
Okay, so the girls, we finish with rehearsals. The girls get kind of called in to see, Robin, Mikey, and the gang. And we've basically reached my favorite week of America's Next Top Model, which is Makeover Week! Now, I don't want to go too deep into talking about Top Model, but let me tell you something. If you're ever feeling down on yourself, pop onto youtube.com and just search America's Next Top Model Makeovers, and you can watch montages of girls having their head shaved, like mohawks being shaved into people's heads, eyebrows being bleached. It's quite something.
Now, crucially,
Yes.
who's going to be doing those makeovers?
Well,
It's, I don't know if you know this, but it is a celebrity hairstylist. I mean, he's done all the greats as one of the girls lists. I mean, he's done Pussycat dolls. He's also Robin's brother. He's great. That's basically what she says.
Exactly. Girls are going to be getting makeovers from Jonathan Anton. Now, don't get this confused with Robert Anton or Stephen Anton, the executive producer. This is the third sibling of the Anton dynasty, Jonathan Anton.
Okay, I'm on Jonathan's Wikipedia.
Okay.
He grew up in Beverly Hills. His mother is an interior designer and his father is an artist. I mean, it makes sense.
Well, same for Robin then, right?
Exactly. No wonder they turned into the people that they are. His Instagram, he describes himself, the first thing it says in his biography, pioneer of reality TV.
Oh.
Okay, John.
Okay.
And then he's got a link to another Instagram called Jonathan Anton Salon. And the description of that is a conceptual environment for human vanities. If you dig a little deeper, you can also go on Cameo and get a cameo from Jonathan.
Wow.
Do you want to know how much that costs?
$40.
It's like $49, so yeah.
Perfect. I'm very good at guessing cameo prices.
Okay.
So before they go to the makeover, we just get some more foreshadowing from Sisely. Despite complaining about too much rehearsal, she starts complaining that now they're going to get makeovers and it's going to take time away from rehearsing. So she's getting the crazy edit, basically.
Got it.
And then there was a little moment, because we did watch this episode together, my second viewing of us watching it together. I do think you missed the line where Jamie, the one you described as a white scarecrow, described her style as urban, funky white chick from New York. How'd you feel about that?
Nervous. Very nervous.
I'd say maybe 4 words out of that sentence are correct. White chick, New York. Factual. Urban and funk up for debate.
Around this moment, we also get another whooshing graphic, and it is a feather boa that kind of opens like a door.
Yes, that's how they travel into different locations, through the feather boa PCD kind of wormhole.
Got it, okay.
And it always goes, don't ya, as they transition between scenes.
Oh, I love that.
Now, my next note just says, because we arrive at Jonathan's salon,
Yes.
and he gets introduced, my next note just says, is Jonathan Anton hot, ? Discuss. I say yes.
I would say yes. He's definitely a pioneer. It may not be a pioneer of reality TV, but is a pioneer of the early days of Botox.
Yes, but I think he looks good.
I think it looks good. I think if you go on his Instagram, I think it looks better now.
Show me. Oh, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, Jonathan Anton. I was into you then, I'm into you now.
Yeah, I'm more into him now, I would say.
Yeah, but don't you feel like at the time you would have been into him? Like, I think I'm into him. His looks have grown with me.
But that's fair. I'll accept that.
Anyway, so basically he's like, at this point, Robin's like, okay, we're going to start, making the outsides match the inside persona. And he goes around and he's like feeling people's hair. He says to Chelsea, like, have you ever thought about getting bangs? Translation, a fringe. And Chelsea starts crying about the concept of getting a fringe cut into her hair because she used to be overweight and she's very self-conscious. So I think she's really harnessed this current image we see. And I think messing with that is really like fucking with her mind, basically.
Do you remember being at school and there was a period of time where, I feel like when we were maybe got to about the age of 10, all the girls started cutting their hair shorter.
Yeah.
Like they went from long hair. And then there was like a bang period, aka a fringe period. Do I have one? Do I no longer have one? Do I grow it out? Am I growing it in?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of girls with like the hat, the kind of a bang that you didn't know if it was coming or going.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like as someone who's, identifies as male and whose hair is falling out, I feel like I'll never understand the fringe bang world that people live in,
Yeah.
What I would give to have some hair brushing down over my eyes. But anyway.
I tell you what, if you went to see Jonathan, maybe get a little clip on.
Absolutely.
Bang.
Absolutely. There's definitely a worrying moment where his hands are in Mariella's hair and I'm like, her hair's perfect and let's leave it.
Yes, and Robin's like, I love it. It looks so great.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
So Sisely here, she starts to get her makeover and she's not happy chappy, is she? And
I mean, she already has quite a fraught hairstyle, which goes with her rock chick persona. And it seems like they were like, okay, well, this girl's got like basically a mullet. They're like, she just sticks some more hair on underneath.
Okay, what year are we in?
2007.
So I remember, I think it would be 2005. I used to go to, or 2004, and I would go to the hairdressers, and they kind of enjoyed me going because I would always be like wanting to try something funky.
Dead
to try
funky.
things out. So I just remember like them always talking about panels It'd be like, okay, we're just going to dye this panel. We're going to have a panel here, we dyed different color. I remember at one stage I had like blue, black, bleach blonde, and red.
Wow.
And it was a real cockatoo explosion extravaganza.
Real regional gay cockatoo, as we like to call them.
Yeah. That dolphin's beak was back. my dolphin's beak PhDs.
Yeah, and then we just get a little, classic America's Next Top Model scene from Chelsea crying about the bangs going in her head, but, she's a fool. They look great. And Anastasia then gives us the kind of information that, after they had their makeovers done, they got dropped off at, and I quote, one of the hottest clubs in LA to show off their looks. Now, I felt like we got bamboozled. They were like flashing so many sights of Hollywood. And then we got a real, like, almost like a strobe flash of just some like gates that they were going to walk through. That looked like someone's house.
Oh, maybe.
Or like the Abbey. But I feel like we're not even at the level of being at the Abbey at this point. So who knows what the hottest club in LA is that they're in. But I'm dubious.
And then they go inside and that light is very bright inside, isn't it? And it's very drafty.
I have a lot of issues with the lighting in this entire scene. So yeah, They're basically overlit for when they walk in, and they also they all clomp in a line, and Robin and Mark McGrath are there. I feel like we could have cut that scene in half and like done some quicker editing, because I felt like we watched all of them walk in, and Robin and Anna are like, oh great, oh you look good, and then that's when we should have stopped, but then it kept going, and at one point Mark McGrath was like, ooh, she's got bangs. And then at the end he went, look at all these creations. I was like, all right, Mark McGrath.
The word creations.
Yeah, I was like, take your tiny nostrils and get out of here,
okay,
Mark McGrath.
Thoughts on Mark McGrath?
Not for me. Never been for me, and not for me.
Never?
No, he never did it for me.
Oh, at the time, very into him.
No.
We discussed this the other day.
We did.
Him and Shifty Shellshock from Crazy Town.
Yeah.
They both had a place in my heart back in the day.
I was more onto I like brunettes, you know me, I don't like a blonde man. Even a frosted blonde man I'm not into.
Do you think Jonathan did his hair?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Well, he does Pussycat Dolls, he's Robin's brother.
Mark McGrath. And the rest is Sugar Ray.
Not Little Kim's hair. She wouldn't let him touch it.
Fair.
Okay.
Well, speaking of Little Kim, we're in this hot club. Little Kim's there. Now, this is my first experience of her in the show.
Yes.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why is Little Kim there? That's a big booking.
Yeah. So my issue with this scene is that we went from the overlit kind of lobby of whatever restaurant or bar this was to then these really strange scene where they put lights on the table, but then not put up like studio lighting around the room. So like it was dark with like just lights coming up from the table. So everyone looked very ghoulish in this scene. And then they were like, Little Kim's here, Pussycat Dolls manager's here, Robin's here, sit down, mingle. And then it was just this really awkward kind of montage of them being like, oh, Little Kim, she's great.
Little Kim kind of looks like Snooki here.
She does. She had some very Snooki-like styling for sure.
The PCD manager, Jeff, is there. He's got very wide eyes.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't great. And then I just want to take this moment to talk about the fact that it's really upsetting that Mariella had that beautiful curly hair and all they've done is straighten it.
It's really problematic.
Yeah, it's really tough. And I get what they're trying to get a contrast so that she can have a different look, but I also feel like whatever technology was straightening her hair in that day and age was obviously, professionally done at the salon and in some of her like confessionals, but then it's kind of trying to revert back to its curls and the rest of it. And I think they did her a disservice by doing that because it's kind of half and half and she couldn't just have her beautiful curls or the sleek hair.
I agree.
They kind of just made it like in between, which is not fair.
Yeah, completely agree.
And then I just said, what have they done to Sisely's hair? Which again, they've just stuck basically like a loaf of red bread on the side of her head, right?
Now, initially, I thought there was no one else at this drafty club. But then behind them, there's a table of people. I was like, huh?
Yeah. That was clearly production where they were like, put on a bandage dress and sit in that booth. Yes. And then this is like, ooh.
Wear a funky skull scarf and mingle.
Exactly. Don't you?
So they've been at the club.
Yes.
Do you know what it's time for?
It's time for a 2 a.m. rehearsal.
Oh my God. Watching this made me feel exhausted.
Me too. Just those poor girls standing on those boxes.
Also, just imagine like working the show, being like, right, everyone, we're wrapping at the club. Who's on rehearsal? Who's gonna go do? Ben Fraser, can you go cover rehearsal? Oh, I don't want to.
It's 2 a.m. I'm so tired.
2 a.m. I'm in a nondescript part of Sunset Boulevard. I don't want to.
Yeah, and they're like, don't let the girls see you complaining about being tired. Okay. So yeah, there's just kind of a tough, that's more of Mikey being disgusting to Chelsea. He like says, if you don't get off that box in time, I'm going to like smack you in the face. I made up those words. That's actually complete slander. He does say that she needs to hold in her stomach and then slaps her on the stomach, which again is just problematic.
Yeah.
Even problematic for anyone, but the fact that Chelsea's whole storyline is that she's lost like a fair amount of weight. So like she's obviously like, that's her storyline, is that she lost a lot of weight before, you know, becoming who she is now. So it's just like, don't talk to her about her body. Also, you can fuck off, Mikey.
I don't trust a choreographer who's always in jeans.
You want to see shorts or athleisure at
See some
best.
athleisure. I tell you what, our beloved Beth from Girls Loud Off the Record, she wouldn't be in that studio in jeans.
No, of course not.
She'd be in some comfies and she'd be doing the moves anyway.
So then we get this really strange scene where basically Sisely is like, okay, Chelsea's not like dancing up to scratch, so I'm going to keep her afterwards, which I'm guessing is 3 a.m. And it's like putting her through this weird drill sergeant routine. Now, her heart's in the right place, but her execution is too harsh. And Chelsea also is not great in that moment either.
Okay, Sisely, you're right. She's being helpful, but she's fucking annoying. Also, was she not earlier complaining about no sleep? And now she's really kind of gone off into like a whirling dervish of hysteria.
Yeah, they've truly made Sisely come undone this week, and she's made herself come undone. It's a good combo. So the next day they announced that they're going to be going to a place called the Record Plant. I accidentally wrote Ron Fart's recording studio. Now I'm a child, so that made me laugh.
Yeah, Ron Fair. Among the artists he has mentored are Christina Aguilera, Vanessa Carlton, Keisha Cole, the Black Eyed Peas and Fergie, and the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh, wow. He's really had some strong female vocals in his face, isn't he?
Yeah.
From Fergie to Christina.
To Keisha Cole.
So, yeah, he's the chairman of Geffen Records. Asia talks about the fact that she loves Christina Aguilera. Ron Fair kind of announces that they're going to all be singing, they're all going to be replacing the chorus of Don't Ya. So I think they're actually doing all the parts in the kind of harmony of Don't Ya, and they're all individually going to do that.
Because there's a lot of like, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was... Don't you wish your girlfriend was... It just ends with that. And it turns out that Ron Fair, as well as being a chairman of Geffen, he also seems to be like a technician.
Yeah.
Because he's like...
fully working the board.
He's working the board, twiddling knobs. And he's saying, no, sing it more like, you know, throaty, or sing it more like this. I'm like, all right, Ron.
Well, it's crucial that we mention at this point that basically whoever does the best in this is going to be immune from elimination in this. So we won't kind of go through absolutely everyone one by one, because it was a lot of footage of just people going, don't you wish your girlfriend was...
Don't you wish your girlfriend was... Don't you wish your girlfriend was... Don't ya?
Yeah, Sisely was nervous. Jamie was wearing the most low-rise trousers you've ever seen in your life. They were those Jessica Simpson irresistible, bum skimmer trousers. Melissa R, she was fine. Melissa S did pretty good. Ron used the phrase creamier tones when she was singing, which I didn't like.
Yeah.
Asia needed more attitude. Then we really kind of focus on Mariella in this point, because everyone's talking about how she can't sing. She's super nervous. She goes into the booth and she does like a pretty good job, right? She does, like, especially for someone who's literally never sung in a studio before, she does pretty well. Mm-hmm. So she comes back, and then we have a great scene where the chorus is played back to her and we see her crying at her own performance of Don't Ya.
and I genuinely at first was like, oh no, she's crying because it sounds bad. But no, she was crying because, I don't know what it was like for you the first time you heard your voice recorded in the booth, you know?
Oh, I mean, it's taken a long time to get to this point that we're at, and how great I sound.
Yeah, but that first time.
Oh, that first time.
What were you recording again? What was your song, your debut?
What are you talking about?
What was your debut solo single that you recorded in the studio back in the day? Mine was I Turned to You.
Oh, that's funny you say that, because mine was I Turned to You.
Oh.
So how does that work?
Oh, wait a minute. Was yours in Spanish or something?
Course,
yeah.
God, mine was in Caribbean because of my heritage.
And mine was in Scotch.
I'm not going to sing I Turn to You in a Caribbean accent. Despite having a Caribbean dad, I'm not going to attempt that on mic.
I'm going to sing I Turn to You in a Scottish accent. I turn to you through the rain, through the storm. There you go.
Very good. So they announced the winner, and obviously they've been pumping Mariella up to win. So Melissa fucking S wins it. Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you something. I don't like Melissa S. one little bit. I was furious when she won.
Which one was she? I don't remember which one she is. I mean, look, it's hard to remember when someone's called Melissa S.
And we have Melissa R as well.
That's what I mean. There's already another Melissa.
Melissa S is the one that last week we were saying would be played by J-Lo, despite the fact that we think she might be Caucasian. Got
it. Big hair at the end of the episode.
Yes, huge. No, you keep saying no. That's Anastasia.
Oh, God.
And left outside alone. That's not what you need to think. You need to think tall, big song, Anastasia the singer.
But then I just think of the Scarecrow girl when I think of
That's
Anastasia.
Jamie.
Oh, God.
Think Jamie Lynn Spears. She's also like a blonde scarecrow. Anyway.
Okay.
So Melissa S wins. They show everyone in the van. Everyone's pissed off. So let's just fast forward to performance day.
Performance day, we're backstage, and there's the real energy of a school play. People running around being like, can I borrow your lippy?
Everyone doing their own hair and makeup.
Yes.
Harsh. Not fair on the girls that they're doing their own hair and makeup for television. But this is SD, so we're not that angry at them, right?
Yeah.
It's not high definition. I think you have to have a makeup artist now for high definition. That's just not fair to the girls. But we were watching it on my TV and we could barely see anyone's facial features. It was just blurs.
Yeah, it was low def.
I have to say, I did enjoy, I think it was Jamie or someone was just like doing a dance in front of a mirror. And I really enjoyed that little shot. That was really fun. So, shall we get into the performances?
Yeah, well, let's get into the space. We're in the Pussycat Doll Lounge on the Sunset Strip. It's a lot of metal staging, thrusting around.
Yes.
What would you call it? Like scaffolding? That really kind of like exposed metal staging.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's a lot of lighting rig to be looking at, which is definitely not there if you were to just casually attend the Pussycat Doll Lounge on the Sunset Strip on like a regular Friday.
Now we all know that the Pussycat Doll Lounge did exist in Vegas for a while, but was there everyone in the Sunset Strip?
We tried to deal with this last week. We couldn't get to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
no one knows. It's a mystery. We came up with the idea that it was only solely used for filming other reality shows. You know, like, it'd be like Kim Kardashian's going to be at the Pussycat Doll Lounge.
No, but that was in Vegas. Remember? Anyway. I just want to give a shout out to Robin's wave here when she's introduced in the judging panel. Just a little, like a half... How would you describe this wave?
This is like a half-hand crab wave.
Once again, Little Kim is back. Still can't believe that they managed to book her for this show. I'm impressed. And they're all seated around tables that have tablecloths on them. Two round kind of trestle tables with really cheap fabric tablecloths. They're not tablecloths, those are pieces of fabric. Got it.
Because you can see even where they're writing that it's like bunching up in a way that a tablecloth wouldn't. It's just fabric that's been thrown on them.
All the budget went on the multiple chairs for the confessionals and the heavy furry throws back in the industrial boudoir warehouse.
So we start with the Free Your Mind group, which is Anastasia, Mariella, Asia, and Melissa S.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's just talk about Free Your Mind for a second. Mm-hmm. I love this song.
That's a
As
great
you know,
song.
I performed this on my 30th birthday in Vegas, remember? With Caroline. Do you remember me and her? Do you remember that karaoke bar we went to on my birthday? Me and Caroline performed Free Your Mind because basically me, Caroline, and my friend Fran have famously performed Free Your Mind have performed Free Your Mind at a variety of venues around London, and I'd say the reception we've got has been cold to middle.
So you thought you would take the trio to Vegas?
Yes. So we took the trio became a duo, and we did it in Vegas, and it was a smash hit. And I will say, there's this one time, I've definitely told the story a billion times. This one time that we did it in a pub in Wimbledon, and it was literally a pub full of old, like, white men who were like old white drunks, and obviously people were getting up and singing like country music karaoke, and everyone was just kind of sitting there swaying. Three of us got really drunk on like white wine, and we were like, let's do Free Your Mind. And I swear to God, we did it. We got crickets from the venue, apart from this one woman. She was a mixed race woman, and she like literally, like, the song started and it was like da-na-na-na, and I saw her head whip round, and literally she came up to the front as if it was a concert, and she was the only person in the audience, and she was literally like, Free Your Mind, like she loved it, and came up to us afterwards and said that she thought we were great.
Oh.
So I have a lot of fond feelings for Free Your Mind.
You really took me on a journey with that story. I like that a lot.
So Anastasia just shouted her way through the performance, as she does. Anastasia's tall, huge hair.
Huge hair. Loved her hair.
Yeah, she's very striking. She's gorgeous. I thought Mariella sounded really good, because that was obviously her whole journey this week, is that she was not strong on the vocals. I thought she sounded great. I said there's so much walking backwards and forwards choreography for this one. It was just literally like walk to the front, turn, walk to the back, hip.
Yeah, this was definitely choreography light compared to the other group.
Yeah.
Although is this the group where they go to the poles at the end of the performance?
Yes.
That's right.
I did like that because, basically halfway through it's like, go and break out and have a little sexy fun. And then there's 2 people on poles on the other side, then 2 in the middle, like kind of just grinding down to the floor. I thought it was really fun. And then the best part is Asia really goes for a run at the end, and they cut to Ron's face, and he's just like, oof.
Which I disagree with.
She sounded fine.
I thought Asia's pretty fantastic in this performance.
Yeah.
She is just yeah.
And then they get their critiques, and there's not too much to talk about. They kind of praise Mariella. They say Anastasia's vocals aren't great, but she's very good. They say Melissa was good. And they say he says he doesn't like people growling in songs. He says you get 1 growl per album.
I'm trying to think of a really good example of a growl in a song.
Oh, it's one of them is Billy Piper, because we want to. Come on and help me sing it.
Ron from Geffen, he's really playing the Simon Cowell role, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that his job is to talk about the vocals, and I will say that this show is ever so slightly more emphasis on choreography, so I do feel like all his comments are pretty valid.
Okay, let's get rocky.
I'm already sweating, but let's get dead rocky.
Props. Can you bring out some little, almost like if you do CrossFit, like a half of a box, like an 8-inch box, maybe
for a box jumping box.
Exactly. Bring out a box jumping box.
Did you see they had their names on them in glittery letters?
Oh, props.
But like not even, like these days I feel like on a show the letters would be like illuminated maybe, but they were really stuck on like glittery fabric in that medieval Pussycat Dolls font.
Well, we've got that font stencil.
So this was really tough. Sisely opened the number in what I described as a sexy Freddy Krueger outfit. She was wearing just underpants and a striped kind of jumper coming off the shoulders. Yeah, she looked like a sexy, rocky Freddy Krueger.
There are a lot of visible undies just in general. Also, one of them wearing like Beetlejuice pants.
Yes, you preempted my exact note. Love Melissa R's Beetlejuice trousers. But Sisely really fucked up because she basically started like a beat behind and then just completely was behind the track the whole time of that bit that they showed her singing a million times. She got that wrong, so that was tough to watch.
But also, as we said, they are really given props. They're given choreography. Like they've got a lot to do with this song.
Yeah, a song that's not that easy to sing. Like it's not for everyone. I thought Chelsea sounded really good. Chelsea Bangs.
Yep,
she sounded great. And then I just wrote the note, Jamie is so white. Am I allowed to say that?
Is she the Scarecrow one?
Yeah, she's Scarecrow.
Yeah, agreed.
Scarecrow Jamie.
In the critiques here, a few key things from Little Kim. She's really earning her check. She talks about being a huge Pat Benatar fan and like doing a cover or something.
Yeah, she said she did a cover of Heartbreaker.
Like an album or something. No idea what's going on there. And then she gives a great anecdote about being in prison and then talking to Puffy, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy. Like she's just really earning her keep.
Yeah, she really is. That's actually the most alive I've seen her so far, like this season of the show. So basically, the judges do their kind of deliberation where they're just talking about everyone, and they come to the decision even without announcing it that Free Your Mind is the winning group.
Yes.
So then they kind of talk about who's in the bottom out of the other 4. So they're all kind of up for elimination per se. So this is when the girls come back on stage. Now, you haven't had the experience of knowing so far that the pink feather boas are really quite important in the show. Obviously, all the girls come back on the stage and they're all wearing their boas. And basically, when you get eliminated, you have to hang up your boa.
Yes. Now, they're not all wearing their boas around their neck.
No. So they were all in the first week, but this week they've all been told to have a little fun.
Funk it up a bit.
I thought Chelsea wasn't wearing one at all, but then later on I saw that she'd made it into like a Victorian bustle around the back.
She's got a train.
Yeah, and I think 2 girls were actually sharing one or had like combined their 2 boas into one and were like standing together draped in like 2 boas together, which I thought was fun.
Imagine if we'd worked in this show, how much fun. We would be like, we're We're just gonna check the boas that they're there. We'll be back in a bit.
I know. Think how many 2007 digital camera pictures of you and me and those boas there would be.
Standing, thrusting. We would become really good friends with props because they would have a demanding job, but we'd manage to sweet talk them.
Of course.
So we would get them to make up. Actually, no, they would do it off their own back. They would make up those boxes just for us with our names in the glittery medieval font, and we would do like at 3 or 4 a.m. Once they've done the rehearsals, we'd be up there thrusting away.
We would have so many good digital camera pictures of us on this production. Us driving like the crew van down Sunset. So the girls all come back on stage, Free Your Mind, announced as the winners. Great, they all go off the stage. So the bottom 4 are going to be Jamie, as you call her, the White Scarecrow, Sisely, our rock chick, Chelsea Bangs, and Melissa R, who looks like Nicole Scherzinger young.
Yes.
So Chelsea and Melissa are safe. So our bottom 2 are Sisely and Jamie.
Mm-hmm. Scarecrow and rock chick.
Yeah. So this gets a little close for comfort. And actually, I'm still in the stages where I can't quite remember who goes home per episode. I know who wins and I know who gets quite far. But at this one, I was truly like, I'm actually not sure who's going to go home. And they set it up in a way where it was like very much like, Jamie, you have the vocals, but you don't have any personality. Sisely, you have a lot of personality, but you like fucked up the vocals.
Yeah. And it's also still early in the game.
Yeah.
We know that neither of these two are going to make it through to the end.
Absolutely not. Do you remember who wins this?
I think I do, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
But old rock chick here's the thing. Yeah, she has lots of personality, but Robin essentially says that she has too much personality to be in a group with other girls working because she'll just end up fighting with them.
Well, also, like, realistically, the Pussycat Dolls, imagine if Sisely had joined the Pussycat Dolls. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they're already like Well, let's think about the Sugar Babes. You can't have like a giant personality joining. You need an Amel.
Yeah.
You need a Jade. You know? You need a Heidi.
Yeah. It's just like, it wouldn't make, like, also because it's like Sisely wouldn't get to sing any songs. She'd just be like in the back, like with her like mullet dancing to Doja. It doesn't make any sense.
And we already know we've got other hair things going on in the group of the Pussycat Dolls. We've had a mohawk.
Exactly.
Don't know if we need a mullet.
So anyway, basically Sisely is safe and Jamie is going to go and take her funky urban white persona back to New York. And, I think she seems like a very nice girl. So as much as I've laughed at her, good for her.
Yeah. So she hangs up that boa, and then 4 really low wattage bulbs around her mirror get turned off.
Yeah. And that was episode 3. What do you think?
That was fun. I mean, I was really worried about coming in at Ep 3. Was I going to be able to follow? But now I know they hang the boa up. I'm good to go.
So I was going to say, that's my big question. Are you going to be joining me for episode 4?
I think I am.
Oh, she's back. Oh, thank God. You're not going to be making me do that episode by myself again.
And in episode 4, it looks like we've had a little preview. Some, what I would describe as schlumpy guys arrive.
Yeah, men in real schlumpy dumpy outfits arrive. And it's going to be lots of like, dance sexy with this man. I'm sure Chelsea's going to be highlighted for not being able to dance again. So there we go.
And then Rock Chick, she says that Asia dances like a drag queen.
Yeah, which in 2007 is an insult. 2021, she'd be the winner of the competition.
Yeah.
Well, get in touch with any thoughts, feelings. I want to hear people's thoughts on, Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar. Why not?
Oh, and I've got a fun tease for everyone out there. Someone I know worked on this show. We're gonna get them we're gonna get in touch with them. We're gonna see if we can get some goss. So that episode could be maybe be called Behind the Boa.
Oh yeah, of course. Deep in the letterbox.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Yeah.
You've got an episode of this coming out every week, and you have our regular You're Welcome America episodes coming out every other week.
Yes, I can't work out what that means right now because we're recording out of order, but just fucking enjoy it, people.
You're welcome.
Bye. Don't ya?
Don't ya?
You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.